Welcome everyone to another Pixelated Review. I'm your host, Pixelated Jordan. So today we have a superhero. Not your Spider-Man, not your Batman, but Meta. And something I gotta admit, I did not know there's a genre for superhero novels. That was a shocker to me when I saw this, and I remember seeing this guy on good old Wattpad a long time ago. No idea that existed. First, I was like, oh, it's just probably people making their own superheroes, but they can't afford someone to draw it, or they can't draw either, and they just make superheroes, but words. But no, there's obviously a whole genre for it, and I was just dumb. But that's okay. That just comes with the territory. Anyway, this is the first time I've ever read a superhero novel, so I was very eager to get into this because I've seen it, and now I see there's official books of it, and I like seeing stuff I see on the internet to become an official thing. It's always something that I really like a lot. So, without a further ado, let's start this review. Book 1, Meta. So, what is Meta? Meta is the term they use for superheroes. So, and they have these superpowers because of these bands, and these bands give people power. What kind of power? Anything, really. You can compare it to My Hero Academia, you can compare it to the Mutants, you can compare it to anything superhero related, and you'll get the idea of what Meta is. Now, what about our good old-fashioned main character? What does he get? Basically, he is Superman in this world. Yeah, Superman. Kinda. In a way. But not really. He calls himself Omni. Not Omni-Man, but he calls himself Omni. So, there you go. And he does have, it's kind of funny enough, he does have a red whole suit and an O in the middle, kind of legit the reverse of Omni-Man. But we're not talking about that. Anyway. So how is this book? Well, let me tell you, I got some nitpicks here. And the nitpicks are pretty much as any indie author goes, that, it's, some things are a bit convenient, like especially when he got the meta bands, I kind of felt that was a little too convenient for the plot. And it seems like since we don't know the power, some powers just kind of come up for Deus Ex Machina, and there's a lot of just explanation dumps in here, like so much, and it kind of gets here and there, but that's just what I feel like. But how is the overall story? I generally like it. A lot of characters have some charm, personality to them, and I really do enjoy it. Midnight, Batman, he is just, he's Batman. Just think Batman, you'll be fine. That's really it. That's all you gotta know. But in general, this whole story, once, we get to the end of the story, there was this man named Jones, who kind of basically ended the first wave of metahumans, because there used to be metahumans, but not anymore. And now there is, so he kind of played a role technically at the end, but not really. There was a whole gimmick when it comes to the meta powers coming back, because people are going to use the powers, of course, because of course there is. But it is generally just a much more simple superhero beginning than anything else. Not much like a high stake, oh, the world's going to end. No, it's just that here's the beginning of people coming out of control. And I think it does a really good job of it, and I'm very happy to enjoy it. And, oh, fun fact, for the audio listeners out there, there is an audiobook of this book, and the author himself narrates it. A lot of people kind of dissing on him, but hey, it takes some guts to narrate your own work. I'm just saying, so good job on him. Anyway, so what do I give a Meta? What do I think Meta is? Well, I give Meta a rating of, check it out, Book 2, The Second Wave. Book 2 is explosive, is the best way I can explain it. Book 2 opens with new concepts, new things, as well as the addition of old. It really is something really cool that I really enjoy, and some epic things really do carry this story all the way. And I really do like that about this story. So it just expands on what the super metas, or just the meta humans in general, and just takes it off from there. Now there are certain points where it kind of does bug me. More specifically, Midnight, aka Batman. Uh, he is just. There's a point where they're having this infiltrating thing, and it's with humans and meta-humans, and a lot of humans die, and Midnight's mad, and the way it kind of sounds like, oh, this is going to be a big problem, turning point for meta-humans and humans all together, but no. Shockingly, that little outburst was swept under the rug afterwards, for some reason. I'm not too sure why about that, but anyway, that was the cool thing. And the thing that really just kind of explosive at the end is just how certain things can happen. For example, the meta bands, especially with our character Omni, he kind of went through an issue at the end, which happened to break his bands, which were, not a good thing. Anyway, but other than that, though, I think the tension of, him trying to keep his life together as a person and a meta-human is really fun, like the good old classic Spider-Man tales that try to do the same thing. So I'm glad that's here too. So anyway, that's book 2. And what do I rate book 2? For the second wave, I give it a check it out. Book 3, Rise of the Circle. So, do you like X-Men? Do you like My Hero Academia? Do you just like the idea of people who have powers are being trained in school? Well, that's what this book deals with. There's a place that they call Circle, or just in general, the thing is called Circle. While the heroes who are underage or anything like that, they are just trained and together, and they become better metahumans. Now, there's some consequence that has happened. For example, this main city that our hero lives don't want metahumans anymore. They're like, nah, let's make them illegal. If they ever come here, kill them. I'm like, wow, that's just messed up. As usual, because of course, I would say comics, but this isn't a comic, so I don't think the comment makes sense. But I'm gonna make the comment anyways. Comics, because comics. Anyway, there's this other team called the Alpha. They're kind of like this superhero, also kind of protecting the world, and they have like meta bands themselves, but the city itself is like, no, we're different. We protect the city like they're supposed to be protected. And it does give our heroes of the Circle and, the Alphas their different contrasts of how they view how to save the world, which is pretty fun. Now, other than that, though, there's the middling section's very middling, if there's any better word to say it, but it's very middling in the middle part of the story. I didn't like it, but Act 3 does kind of pick things up, and it gets crazy. There's more information about the meta bands, and it builds upon that, and the lore behind it just keeps being better and better. So, and overall, I really did enjoy the fights in this that took place. Though, I will admit, I don't like a lot of the other people in the Circle. I didn't have any connection, so oh well. But overall, I really did enjoy the story. Just keeps on going and going where it needs to. So I really did like it. And I hope that it keeps on continuing, That was kind of my always hope. I always hope for books getting better and better, And it does, so I really did enjoy it. So, with that being said, what do I give The Rise of the Circle rating? It gets a rating of... check it out. Book 4, Omni's Fall. I kind of feel like this one's kind of middle of the road for middle of the road book in a middle of the road book series. Does that make sense? Okay, needless to say, this book is very mid, as the kids would say. And I don't like that word because it means to say that, oh, it's bad. Like, no. I mean that it's just not as cool as it always could be. But let me explain. So there's this new guy. He's Russian. He doesn't have powers, but he has a alien technology suit that makes him stronger than an Omni. All right, alien powered. All right, keep that in mind. Aliens exist. So that being said, how powerful is he? Well, I guess powerful enough to really just put Omni on his butt. He calls himself Justice, and even though like he's kind of doing like Omni's job, but technically better, he's I don't know, something about him didn't really mesh well with the whole book series. I love the Alphas. I think the Alphas were great antagonists, but Justice was like he was supposed to be, but he was not interesting. But oh well. But I did like kind of how the end is, and especially because of how Omni was kind of getting depowered more and more throughout the series, which is very interesting. It's something I really enjoyed about how this series progressed. It was like the reverse, but progressing. If that makes sense. Anyway, point is though, at the end, he does get this technology in his hand, so the suit is definitely upgraded. But that's where we ended. I hope that Omni will just become ridiculously strong because of how powerful the suit really was. And now he has said suit at the end of the story. And Aliens, I just hope it's overall just a better story because, like I said, Justice was okay as an antagonist, but that's about it. So, yeah, remember that. Aliens. So, for Omni's fall, I give it a rating of... Book 5, New Empire. So, after the reveal of Aliens, and now we're on a different planet, Omni has a new suit, now an alien invasion is coming. Things are kind of crazy, aren't they? So, what do you think is going to happen? Well, for starters, our main character, his parents died a long time ago due to the man named Jones. Jones kind of has been this overall theme of this insane meta who super powerful and killed a lot of people because he snapped one day and then it all ended in one final day where all the metas died. And his parents were metas apparently. And his mom has the strongest metas. And she's alive. So that's all crazy and nutso. Correctamundo. But the thing is with me, I don't know what it is. I don't like superheroes and aliens. And I don't know why. The superhero alien thing is just, I don't know, it's just kind of to me. Though it happened, and it does its purpose, of an alien invasion, but that's about it. So, and there is a pretty crazy end though when it does happen, like this big invasion happens, so it does get crazy towards the end, and the way it does end leaves us hanging for so long. The ending is just like, where am I? And it does, because who shows up is that man named Jones, but it's not the Jones you might think of. So that's kind of the thing. So this one felt like I thought it was the end of the series, but I found out there was another book on the way, so that's why I didn't do the review when I finished it. So now that I did finish it and I read the 6th book, I might as well finish the series, right? So as this book stands, I'm gonna give New Empire a rating of Book 6, Infinity's End. You're sick of multiverses? Nah, everyone loves multiverse. I'm just kidding. Yeah, depending on your stance with multiverse as it is right nowadays, this has multiverse. And though I thought I would kind of get annoyed because, the whole jumping back and forth, blah, blah, blah stuff, it was actually kind of fun. The thing I really liked about it was definitely the way they have Jones. Because Jones was introduced at the very beginning. He was used as an illusion at the beginning. But Jones always had this kind of presence throughout the story of the first wave of metahumans and how that just affected people. And so that was the big deal of meta in the first book, and then now it comes back full circle. And I really liked it because there was different things of like multiverses of different Jones and stuff like that. There was a Jones who wiped out the entire place, and he's out of power and all that stuff, and he's just kind of like dead. And Omni does technically kill him by throwing his metabands out and says, "Go get him." And he's already old and wrinkled, so that was the thing. And there was another like insane Jones he fought, but for some reason, Midnight came out of nowhere for this one and died. Yeah, he died. kind of offhandedly, I guess. Was it Jones? Shoot, now I can't remember if it was an Evil Jones out. But anyway, point is, he died. And it was kind of just offhanded, and I was like, that kind of sucks, if you got rid of Batman of your universe, kind of just like, yes, he sacrificed himself nobly. Did he really, though? He still had to confront Jones in one way or another. But I did like but the ending was kind of like this bittersweet, but it was a fun ending. Though I do wish that there was much more build-up to this. And not necessarily it wasn't, but things could have been better to living up this moment. And because this book felt so fast, the pacing was so fast that you really couldn't really sit down and enjoy or dissect or anything like that. It just kept going, which I get for the pacing of these kind of books. That makes sense. But if there was any way to make it slow down just a little bit, because this is the conclusion for the entire story, should have felt maybe just a little shorter, just smaller, just pull back a little bit. Don't have to be that fast. And I get it. But at the end, it does have a bittersweet ending. Connor no longer has powers, and he's recognized as a hero that he is, and it's good. I do like the ending, though it's a little bittersweet because he's no longer a metahuman. But I enjoyed it. This was a really fun way to end the series with the multiverse, and just the ending of our hero having an actual normal life, and no longer having to worry about being a hero or having meta bands just in general. And confronting the evil that took away his parents, which was a fantastic way to end the series. So, that being said, I will give Infinity's End a rating of, check it out, overall, Meta is a series of superheroes. Meta is a story about a boy becoming a man, a superhero man, and trying to do his best to do right with a world that just don't like metahumans. And though he does kind of sidetrack a few things, Meta kind of inconsistent with power, especially in the first book with the battery power. So sometimes it felt limitless, other times he didn't have enough power, like very inconsistent. Some things like in Omni's fall, he got the suit, then somehow in the next book in New Empire, he somehow feels weaker, even though Omni beat what's his name? Justice beat Omni, and it was kind of off-putting. So there's definitely inconsistencies with these stories. Oh, and then the suit. Can I just say something? I kind of wish the suits were a bit cooler. I get it, simple was the idea, but I was like, man, I kind of wish the suits kind of looked cooler. But anyway, I thought the overall story, though, characters and relations and just the overall world building, I have to admit, really liked it. I had the series just in my head, and because it was a lot of fun. The first time me experiencing any kind of superhero novelization, it was this book. And though there's problems for sure, I can definitely sit there and say that I had a good time. So for those who are genuinely curious about how a superhero story can be done, or if it can even work, I do recommend reading this book just for the fun of it. It is something I enjoyed, and I hope other people enjoy. So, without further ado, I give the Meta series a rating of, check it out. Thank you for watching. Hi, I want to thank you guys all again for watching. So, if you like this video, please give a like to other ones that I have right here. And if you're looking for this story, I will make sure I link them down below too. Also, did you know I too am an author? That's right. If you like ghosts and young adult novels, well, I got you covered. I have my book called Unborn Ghosts. It is about a man named Asher trying to find his way back home. You can get it on Amazon, Audible, and ebook, all that good stuff. So, I want to thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.